Alright, hello and welcome to the Game Doctor. In this little short, we're going to give you an invaluable piece of information, the Universal Production Chain. This could be implemented anywhere in the production chain. In this particular case, it's at the very beginning, but you could implement it anywhere, at any time, on any resource or any machine. You can go from the origination point of the materials. In this case, it would be the extractors. So you go from extractors to a storage depot or directly into the machines. It just depends on what you want to do. Sometimes you have to control flow. Sometimes you have a controlled flow coming from A, an extractor, or B, a machine. They only produce just so quickly. And if you don't want them to bottleneck, because it requires the introduction of multiple machines for multiple objects, it keeps it from doglegging and bottlenecking when multiple units are being distributed. Or you could do a silo setup, where you go straight from the extractor or distributing item and go right into a silo. The silo then disperses to whatever it needs. The beautiful part about a silo is once you fill the queue up on these, because they only hold 100 apiece, the reserves will be accumulating inside the silo. And then once the demand is pulled again, they will come from the silo and immediately fill the demand, rather than the extractor or manufacturing unit, which has a specific and set manufacturing or distribution time, and you will only get them trickled in. So this makes it so response is immediate, and of course this feeds in as this comes in. Now this is a more efficient way if you have multiple items coming in, because then those items have a place on the rail. If you have a highly efficient, quote-unquote, highly efficient rail system, and then you flood the rails with multiple different objects, there'll be no room for everything, and everything will log jam. So in that particular case, this setup is very good. Now, at the other end of the chain, we have all the rails going in one direction. Never create a loop. If you create a loop, you will have a storage cycle, and they will just rotate around infinitely. This occupies the least amount of room while producing a good, solid amount of materials for distribution later. Sometimes you need multiple of those. If you jump onto the map, let's say this guy right here is the most notorious of them. Not the dead guy, of course, but the sulfur. Now, sulfur, when you start producing sulfuric acid and the like that, they come out excruciatingly slowly. And of course, you're going to need to have multiple points to extract those and redistribute them. So this is a really good setup for that. You can extract it very quickly, process it into whatever you need to process it into, or just extract it and go straight to a distribution node. But you definitely want to have storage if you're going directly to an exporter. That way there is no production queue. You don't have to wait for it to extract. Now, this setup is more akin to production demand. You need a specific product at any given time. Even if it's far-flung, this will satisfy that need. If the receiver goes straight into a silo where it can be warehoused, it can be continuously launched and stack so you can be utilized later. Well, there you go. That's my universal That's my universal build plan. It could be scaled infinitely. Doesn't matter what stage you're in. You get the gist. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.